Hurricane, Dream and Interpretation. Dream in nutshell. There was a big hurricane with football-sized hailstorm in a place where never been a hurricane. It destroyed everything and people who went to hide were in danger. Short interpretation. The world as we know it, economy, politics, etc., will no longer exist. Everything gonna change. Everything which are not based on Jesus Christ will be shaken. Even religions will be shaken, including Christian religions, the ones with wolf leaders. Longer version of my dream. The Lord gave me a dream on the 23rd of September 2019 at dawn. The dream. I was outside in the garden with my father at my parents' house when, starting from the west, the sky became very dark. The sky became so dark quickly and it was scary. I had a bad feeling about this. My father and I were standing near to the house, so we weren't able to see what is happening at the other side of the house. There was something at the north side. The storm came very quickly, more quickly than the other times. It came with speed within minutes and not hours. I said to my father, the storm going to be there quickly. We should go inside the house. Father said, this storm will be the same as the others, as usual, and not coming to our direction. I said to my father to watch stronger because a big storm is coming not just from the west, but from the direction of north, from behind the house. And within a blink of time, there is a big dark storm cloud arrived, stopped above the house. It stopped exactly above the house, gathered more dark clouds underneath of him, became bigger and bigger. The dark storm clouds became fat, almost black, and those were sinister and scary. When my father saw those dark storm clouds, he did run into the house to hide himself. My parents has a big house, made with strong materials, bricks, concrete, etc. Their house is standing near to a small lake. Not just dark storm clouds arrived, but a hurricane as well. The type of hurricane was like the ones in Florida, United States, or the ones in tropical islands or on the seashores. We never used to have any hurricanes in the middle of Europe. But we had one in this dream, a terrible type of hurricane. I was standing outside. I started to see some moments from the future, the after effects of hurricane. Rapid pictures started to appear before my eyes, near after each other, each one about the hurricane and the after effects of hurricane. The rapid pictures scenes were the following. So the hurricane arrived. Around the house there was foggy. I was not able to see the lake nearby. Even the branches of the trees bended from the strong winds. The trees were hardly standing in the hurricane, bended like palm trees in the winds. Grass fields were bending forward as well. Hurricane was around the house and at the lake as well, everywhere. I was only able to see the nearest trees. The lake was not visible behind the winds. The visibility with the hurricane was fog-like. The hurricane was so strong that I thought everybody who remained outside will die. As I said before, I started to see short video footage-like scenes, the effects after the hurricane was over, meaning I was able to see what that hurricane will do after I ran inside the house. I was able to see the happenings after I will inside the house, but I was still outside in the garden. I was able to see some scenes when I will be inside the house at the same time in the garden and in the courtyard. there were huge piles of football-sized ice balls. Hail was gathered together by the hurricane, meaning there was a big hail was falling out from the sky, football-sized rain of hail from above. That kind of hail can cause huge damage and very dangerous for life. Literally, there was a football-sized ice balls of hail. When the hurricane started its work over the house, over the property, and over the surrounding area nearby, including the lake. One more thing. As I said, in the beginning of the dream, a sinister and scary-looking dark storm cloud appeared over the house. It is arrived from a strange direction. From this direction, from north, never used to appear any storm in my parents' village. From direction of north of that village, there is a river. And that river used to change the journeys of all storms all the time, but not this time. When the big dark storm cloud stopped over the house, it did not continue its journey. It stood firm, became bigger and bigger, and much darker. More and more clouds added to it. After a while, I looked up to the dark clouds to see how evil is the storm. As I started to look up, the dark clouds divided from the middle, above the top of the house, but instead of blue sky, an enormous bright, glaring light came from above, from the direction of east and south, and from where there was not so much cloud, and the sky was brighter than the sun itself, so bright that it was almost blinded me. But it wasn't the sun, because the sun's supposed to be almost behind me at the south. The glaring light was behind the clouds, meaning God was behind the hurricane. Everything was under his control. As I said, the sky was not blue. It was entirely light, glaring bright behind the clouds, but just for a couple of seconds, because the dark clouds moved back to their original place above the house. I started to see some more scenes about the hurricane. Around the house, there was a destructive storm, a hurricane. Things were flying, trees wanted to thrown out from their places. The lake visibility disappeared thanks to the hurricane. The noise became bigger, the voice of the winds became stronger and stronger, because I realized the hurricane and the football-sized hail will danger my life. I did run inside the house as well. I thought inside the house I will be safe, but it wasn't safe at all. The whole house was shaking, despite it was made of bricks and concrete. I started to see that the hurricane and the hail removed and destroyed some parts of the main side walls of the building. The hurricane started to destroy the roof and the other parts of the walls. It was not safe inside at all. There was a continuous shaking and a big noise from outside. It was so dangerous to be even inside the house that I had to lay down on the floor underneath the stairs. Moments before the house completely destroyed, my dream was over. Interpretation. When you receive a dream from the Lord, it has many, many layers, and sometimes there are more than just one explanation. Many preachers and Christians, Jews, died of the virus because the judgment started on the God's house. For its time for judgment to begin with the God's household, and if it begins with us, what will the outcome be for those who do not obey the gospel of the God? At first, I have thought the dream was about my parents. My family is not a typical loving family. They just pretend to outsiders that everything is all right. When I said In the dream, the storm will be there quickly. My father said, no, it will go away as usual. My father has a big heart, but his scene is showing the typical side of my father's personality. When I'm saying something since my early childhood, he says exactly the opposite to keep me off balance. With this tactic, he created an alternative reality since my childhood. When your parents messes up your brain and you do not believe in your own instincts, the reality is not your reality. Jesus said in Luke 12, "Do you think I came to bring peace on earth? No, I tell you, but division. From now on, there will be 5 in one family divided against each other, 3 against 2 and 2 against 3. There will be divided, father against son, and son against father, mother against daughter, and daughter against mother, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, and daughter-in-law against mother-in-law." He said to the crowd, "When you see a cloud rising in the west, immediately you say, 'It's going to rain,' and it does. And when the south wind blows, you say, 'It's going to be hot,' and it is. Hypocrites! You know how to interpret the appearance of the earth and the sky. How is it that you don't know how to interpret this present time? When your family brainwash you, the Lord has to destroy the stage of theater. The stage of actors is not a safe place to start your future. If you are coming from a brainwashing family, usually you will be drawn into a cult or fake church who brainwash you as well because you are seeking familiarity. You mix the control with love. The fake church want to control you, not love you. With them, you are just a number, not a person. You are not allowed to think because they do the thinking instead of you. You have to accept their doctrine, not the Bible. Fake churches don't let Jesus to rule over them. Fake churches will be shaken as well. My dream was a warning dream, but not just about my life. It's about everybody's life around the world. The storm of the Lord comes for each and every people's life at least once. For a lot of people, it is only once in a lifetime experience when everything can be and will be shaken and broken. It's some kind of test from the Lord. When the storm comes, the Lord tests you, your life and your belief system. He tests your reactions. It is a test about if you have built your life on Him or Him, on Him, with Him or not. Whether your life is built on the sands or on a rock. It is usually a test in a form of huge storm of change. The storm of change itself can scare you, but you do not have to be afraid. It is a test from the Lord. The Lord tests you, watches you, and if you ask Him, He helps you. The storm of change arrived to the whole world. It affects us economically, physically, financially. It affects our freedom, or safety, or well-being, or health, or belief system. It affects religions, false Christianity, your mood, your country, etc. Matthew 12. Every kingdom divided against itself will be ruined, and every city or household divided against itself will not stand. The hurricane from the Lord removes and destroys every shaky parts of your life. We have to rethink our life, including our money spendings, for example. We need to rebuild our life. Everything which are built on the Lord will be safe. Everything outside the Lord will be shaken. The words, once more, indicate the removing of what can be shaken, that is, created things, so that what cannot be shaken may remain. Hebrew 12. This hurricane is so awful and hard that seems to be evil, but it's not evil. Maybe the virus is evil, but the hurricane is not evil. It is a test. If your life is built on rock of the Lord, or built on the sand of your well-beings and hobbies, The shaking itself is so hard that the Lord will reveal every secret. He will reveal China's secrets, government's secrets, secrets of fake churches, etc. Fake churches wanted to control you until now. The leaders said only they have revelation from the Lord of Lords. It was a big lie because every one of us can have a revelation and gifts from the Lord. Those are not just for the leaders and prophets. You can have your own connection and relationship with the Lord. It is not just for the priests and the megachurch leaders. Read the Bible, seek the Lord, humble yourself. Everyone who will seek Him going to find Him. You have gifts as well. Those are not just for the church leaders. Dig out your gifts and do not hide those anymore. You have to use your gifts. Your gifts are useful for others as well. Do not keep your gifts to yourself. Use it, share it. Matthew 7 about ask, seek. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives. The one who seeks finds. And to the one who knocks the door will be opened. Which of you, if your son asks for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a snake? If you then, though you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask Him? Right now, everyone's houses are shaking in this hurricane around the world. Our life as we knew it not will ever be the same from now on. Maybe you will learn from the hurricane and will attach your life to the rock, or you will build another house onto the sand. It is your choice. The Lord tests the power of your building, every part of your life, which are built by you. When the Lord is testing you, you don't have to be afraid. He will show you the solution, the exit of your situation. It is better to find out if your house is built on sands or not than finding this out after you die. The wise and foolish builders. Matthew 7. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, yet it did not fall because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash. When Jesus had finished saying these things, the crowds were amazed at his teaching, because he taught as one who had authority and not as their teachers of the law.